Becky Lynch was robbed of WWE history. In this video, I'm going to tell you what that history was, who robbed her of it, and much, much more. Because Becky Lynch, as I've stated in a recent video, she is a megastar right now. She really is. She has transcended the superstardom, if you will, right? In my opinion, she is right up there with the likes of Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, John Cena, and you can go on the list. When you put her name on a marquee, when you say she's going to show up at this arena at this time on this date, when you say she's going to appear on television at this day on this time, she's going to be in this match, people turn out. They buy a ticket to see Becky Lynch. They tune into a program to see Becky Lynch. And this is after years and years and years of work. This is after years and years and years of overcoming obstacles where Becky Lynch, she struggled for a long time in WB. I don't think people understand that. I mean, she was with WB for a long period of time. Go back to those early NXT episodes, which, by the way, were just fantastic. Go back to like your 2014, 15, 16, 17. And those 1 hour shows, they were really, really fun. And to see people evolve and to see people progress with their characters and their in-ring ability, just like Becky Lynch, well, that is what we get to see, right? If you look at Becky Lynch's progression from the last kicker, if you will, it was a horrific gimmick. It was really, really tough to watch. And then if you look into 2018, where she becomes the man, right? Thanks to the Charlotte Flair feud, which people sleep on. Thanks to their Evolution match. Thanks to Nia Jax freaking punching Becky Lynch in the face, giving her a concussion and a broken orbital bone, and nixing the Ronda Rousey match. Then going into WrestleMania 35 in 2019, where she wins the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships. And now to see where she is today, it's truly remarkable, the progression that Becky Lynch has been on. So how was she robbed of WWE history? Because she's made a lot of history, right? Grand Slam champion. She's a former Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Women's, and more champion, right? But there's one thing that she did not get to do, and in this video I'm going to tell you what that is. And in fact, it's because she was originally slated to win the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase. Yeah. So what happened? So Carmella was on the Nikki and Brie show, and she was talking about how in 2017, despite winning Money in the Bank, she was not initially supposed to win it. She revealed that the second match, Becky Lynch was supposed to win. Now, this is how things broke down. So if you recall at the PLE at the time, the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, it was James Ellsworth who actually grabbed the briefcase and handed it to Carmella, and she was crowned the champion. Well, fast forward, that following SmackDown, it was deemed, look, Carmella didn't actually win the match. We didn't actually get a winner because James Ellsworth got involved, which, by the way, was such a great character. And now we got to redo the match. So, yes, Carmella was going to win the first match, but really the true winner, the true Money in the Bank winner for the inaugural women's match was going to be Becky Lynch. But plans changed, and they decided, you know what, we're going to go with Carmella. And I think that is very interesting because it was a typical Vince McMahon change, right? And he liked to change things on the fly. So can you imagine how WB history would have been different? Like, look, Carmella, she had a run as SmackDown Women's Champion. No one really remembers it. That's not really a knock on her. She's a decent worker. The gimmick is decently over, right? Best of luck to her, best wishes to her, because she also revealed in this interview that when she gave birth to her first child, she suffered a severe nerve injury in her leg and her foot. And that is kind of playing into the fact that she's not wrestling right now. So obviously, best of luck to her. But if you can think that would have changed the trajectory of Becky Lynch's career in a lot of ways. And I don't know if that would have been necessarily a good thing either, because I think Becky Lynch had to go through those trials and challenges. And I think it was better for her at that time to deal with those challenges, but on a mid-card level, rather than, okay, Vince going, okay, we're going to push this chick. She doesn't really have, she's not finding her way just yet, but we're going to push her. We push her. We give her the title. We give her Money in the Bank. She doesn't deliver necessarily how Vince thinks, and then he never uses her in a prominent way again. Compared to, a year later, okay, she's starting to click. Because if you recall, that feud with Charlotte Flair in the summer of 2018, WWE was trying to make Becky Lynch a heel. They initially thought, okay, we're going to turn her heel. She's not working as babyface. She's not clicking with the fan base. All right, we're going to put her in a heel role against Charlotte Flair. Brilliant idea, by the way. I think it's a brilliant idea. Anytime you try to book Charlotte Flair as a babyface, she's a natural heel. It's just a matter of fact. Just go with it, right? Same way with, her father. Her father's always been a better heel than a babyface. People are just naturally like that. Same way with, a Miz, all right? Just go with it. If that's what the fans automatically assume, just go with it. So the fact that she didn't win Money in the Bank, the fact that she did not get this huge push at that time when she wasn't really clicking, because in the summer of 2018, the fans literally turned her back to being a babyface, and that's when she took over as the man character because, okay, the fans are chanting for her on television. What can I do to further connect with them, right? Let me get on social media and just start trolling the people that I'm working with. Well, that's what Becky Lynch did. That's what she did. She got people talking. I can recall writing articles about her throwing shots at Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. Every day it was what is Becky Lynch going to tweet? Because this is going to be fun. And she was furthering storylines. And heading into WrestleMania 35 in 2019, you had those three, the Charlottes, the Beckys, the Rondas. They were going back and forth on social media just to further that feud. It was such a good feud. I don't think people necessarily go back and remember that because that was a really bad year for WB Creative. That was the WrestleMania that made the company go, okay, having I think it was an 8 or 9 hour WrestleMania, including the pre-show. It's this is god-awful. We cannot keep doing this because WWE at the time, they were trying to build up their watch hours on the WWE network because they were trying to tout that to investors on the media calls. And so that's what led the following year during the pandemic to having a 2-night WrestleMania, one of the greatest decisions ever made in this company. And Becky Lynch was around for them. And, 2020, she had a pretty notable run till she announced her pregnancy. But, how things could have changed for Becky Lynch.